Hi everyone, it's Feeding Dragon. I am back with my currently ink for the third week of July. This time I have most of my pens ink with Birmingham Pen Company inks. I am very lucky that one of my pen friend kindly gave me lots of samples of the Birmingham Pen Company inks which are almost impossible to get in Europe. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity to try them. Okay, the first pen and ink combination that I have here is Birmingham Pen Company Butcher's Broom, and I fill it inside my Esterbrook Estie Nouveau Blue with Gena Reverse Architect nib in it. When I first inked this ink, I giggled because, well, I was really craving for reds after all the darkest colors that I inked last week, and thus this brings joy. I enjoy the fact that the red itself is not really like red, but there are some pinkish tone on the dark red, which makes it softer compared to the regular dark red if I were to think about it from that perspective. And also, let's talk a bit about the naming of Birmingham Pen Company inks. Butcher's Broom, yeah, it has a weird name, which also helps with my enjoyment of this ink and pen combination because it's just so funny. Writing wise, I can just say that I really enjoyed the experience, and you may see it here on the writing sample that it is on the reverse side because it is with this nib the reverse side is a bit more architect while the regular side is the regular, and it shows shading on the reverse side while it is just that bit darker on the normal side, and I love the range of the color that this ink has as well. As for color comparison, I think Birmingham Pen Company Butcher's Broom is really close with Pannonia Machias, although as mentioned before, the Butcher's Broom have a pinkish shade with it, which makes it a bit different compared to my other dark reds that I have. This is just the type of ink that is exactly what I want it to be, and I love writing with it. While the first ink have a weird name, this one have an even worse name. I have Birmingham Pen Company Shower Scum here, and I fill it inside my Opus 88 pumpkin with CY Cursive Smooth Italic nib in it. While the name is weird, I love this color. It's quite funny for me to think about it since generally I do not like a yellow leaning brown. But after my inking with Pannonia Fasico and then this one, I start to enjoy this shade of color even more. So that's quite interesting that my taste changed. And also this ink, I really cannot get past how they can name this ink with this name. It is a darker yellowish or more like yellowish brown with green sheen. So in a sense, it's kind of similar to Birmingham Pen Company Extra Dimensional Umber and the Burley Wood, but it's just in the middle of these two inks to some extent. And my enjoyment with this ink, aside from the color, is just the fact that the name is weird. And as always, my Opus 88 is ever so reliable that I just enjoy this combination. So yeah, Birmingham Pen Company Shower Scum base color was is very similar to Birmingham Pen Company Burley Wood, although Shower Scum have green sheen and it has less sheen compared to extra dimensional umber. Aside from Birmingham Pen Company inks, this Shower Scum is pretty close to Pannonia Fahasico, although Shower Scum is more yellow leaning. KWZ old gold is also very close. This combination also gives me lots of joy. I have Birmingham Pen Company Bonsai inside my AbleSnail sketch pen made of Ebonite, which I got at last Dutch pen show, and the nib in it is CY Architect, which I also had done at Dutch pen show. I still love the smell of this Ebonite pen. So at first I inked this bonsai because I really need green in my lineup. And this is the only Birmingham Pen Company lighter green that I have from the samples that I got from my pen friend. And let's just say that I am pleasantly very surprised with this color. It's a very lovely green that is leaning more on the yellowy side, but it is still like the middle green. I love this shade of green color in general. And also, while it looks quite vibrant on swatch card, I feel that when I write with it, it also tones down in color, so it is less saturated than the regular green inks. So compared to the other green inks that I have here, Birmingham Pen Company Bonsai is slightly paler compared to the others, so there's a certain softness in it which I enjoy from Birmingham Pen Company inks. The closest that I can see here is with Private Reverse Avocado, although Avocado is much more saturated. It is yellower compared to Diamond Sherwood Green. Next up is Birmingham Pen Company Suncatcher, and I feel it inside my Majohn V60 with fine nib. Oh, this is the start of the regular nibs from now on. Inking this pen has always been a joy. Aside from the bright yellow color, the nib and the whole experience writing with is just so nice and comfortable. It's one of the pen that surprised a lot of people when I let them try this pen. And this is, I think, the third time I ink this pen, and I just realized that the metal pen on the cap kind of catch on any fabric that I have. So I am much more careful with where I put this pen now and not really carrying it with me somewhere else. So I mostly just use this at home and just leave it on my table so that it's not really destroying my pen cases. It's also the same with this one, so it's not really that smooth at all, I found, which is really a pity because I really love writing with this pen. As for the ink itself, Birmingham Pen Company Suncatcher is blue, but at the same time it's not just the regular blue because it's very vibrant and leaning more on the yellowish blue side compared to the bluish blue side. With this pen and ink combination, it just flows so well. Out of all the blues in the world, no, just kidding. Birmingham Pen Company Suncatcher is the closest with Leonardo Officina Italiana in my collection, although base color wise, it's kind of similar to the three diamonds that I have here on the left side. Second to last, I have Birmingham Pen Company Salt Marsh inside my Kaweco Perkeo with medium nib. The reason why I feel this inside this pen is because I noticed that the color of the ink is very light, and usually with my Kaweco Perkeo, it managed to make the illegible legible. That's why I think that this is the best pen that I can fill this ink with. I really love the color change from wet to dry though, and I really wish that it can be captured when it's dry so that I can enjoy it a bit longer when rereading what I write or on people's letters. I hope that the camera can catch it. Is that when the ink is wet, it is more on the browny side, and then it dries slowly to this salty grayish color. It's quite the lovely ink, and it has some texture with it. If I really look closely, the color of the ink is not really that smooth, but more like, yeah, there are some texture on it. Although it's not really a color that I am drawn myself to. Maybe because it's not really as legible, and compared to the other inks that I have ink right now, this one is pale and not as vibrant in comparison. I'm really glad that I put this ink inside my Kaweco Perkeo just because it is becoming legible. I really wonder how this ink will behave in more drier pens. Although there are some differences, and on this swatch card as well, I have a bit of the ink tapped with tissue here, and it looks even grayer. So yeah, if I were to describe this ink, I can say that it is a brownish gray. So on the lighter part, it is gray, and it's even similar to this diamond gray skies no more. But on the darker side, it's much browner. It's a unique color. Okay, the last pen and ink combination is Montblanc Writer's Edition Homage to Jane Austen Umber, and I fill it inside my Pilot Custom 823 Amber with medium 14 karat gold nib. This combination has been quite the accidental thing that I chose. So, well, first thing first, my fountain pen club is really crazy about this Montblanc Homage to Jane Austen Umber lately, to the point that they really search for stores that still have this limited edition ink left, because once it's gone, then it's gone. It will not be produced again. And this ink color is very unique of its own because it is purplish when it's wet, and then it dries to either brownish or grayish depending on what paper you are using. And there is this rustic vintage feeling that goes with the ink, which makes it quite the neutral ink to write with, but at the same time it has some interesting thing that goes with the ink. And I'm 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 finding out that while previously I am not really the type to ink grease ink, I am finding that this ink is a great one to have. And I am warming up to grays in general now, and I'm quite open to have them ink. And as for this accidental combination, I recently started a journal where I wanted to only use darkest color that goes with it, and this Montblanc Jane Austen is in one of the ink samples that my friend gave me. So even though it is not a Birmingham Pen Company ink, I wanted to ink this ink. And because I am not really that colorful in this specific journal, then I wanted to use a pen that I don't really need to switch the inks often, which is quite different from the usual Feed the Ink Dragon. But anyway, thus I choose this Pilot Custom 823 Amber and ink the Jane Austen Amber. And then when I write the name of the ink and the pen, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, the Amber. This 1 week, I'm finding myself being confused as in which one have the U and which one have the A. But yeah, that's quite the funny coincidence. The ink itself is a gray, purplish gray with a copper sheen. So I think it may look brownish on some papers because of the mix of the ink and the sheen. Color wise, it is more purple compared to Roaring Cleaner Ebony, and it is more gray compared to Palette Iro Shizuku Shungyo. Although I think if I were to write it side by side, I wouldn't be able to discern between the Jane Austen Umber and Ebony. So yeah, that's all that I have for this week. What do you think? Any of this that you want to try yourself, or you already have this yourself? Let me know and see you on the next one. Bye bye!